Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Haziq Farhan bin Mokhtar, matrix number 303376. So today, let's talk about some of the key reasons why people resist the implementation of activity-based costing, especially in the Malaysian business context. Firstly, there is a significant lack of awareness and understanding. Many managers and employees are unfamiliar with how ABC works. They may not fully understand its concepts, the benefits it offers, or how it can be applied in their organization. This leads to a perception that ABC is overly complex or academic, that maybe a multinational company would use, but not practical or necessary for SMEs. Because of this misunderstanding, people often reject the idea of ABC before even giving it a chance to implement in their organization. Secondly, there is fear of increased workload and transparency. ABC reveals detailed cost information, which makes it easier to see inefficiencies and unproductive areas in the organization. While this is actually a benefit for decision making, it can make employee more transparent, and even some managers feel threatened. They may worry that their inefficiencies will be exposed and they will be blamed for their error. But some may fear that the system will bring extra responsibilities or require them to learn new tools or skills they were not master with. This fear causes resistance, especially when the change is not communicated clearly. The third and probably most critical reason is weak top management commitment. Change in any organization needs strong leadership. If top management doesn't actively support the ABC implementation or fails to explain to their employee or subordinate, employees will not feel motivated to adopt it, and employees also not comfortable. People naturally prefer familiar routines they were used to implement in their system, and without clear direction from their leaders, they will continue uh, doing what they were used to. When leadership is used in passive or unsure, it sends the message that ABC is not really important, and lead, that leads to resistance from every level of the company. So we will move to overcoming resistance. One of the best ways to overcome resistance is to involve staff early in the ABC process. When employees are included from the beginning, they feel more valued and more open to change. We also need to show them how ABC can make their work or job easier. For example, by reducing errors or helping them manage time better. Next, training and education are very important. Many people reject ABC because they don't understand it. So, as a leader, we need to explain clearly about the system we will implement to, and we also need to show them how ABC can make their work easier by using real life examples and case studies. We can help staff see how ABC work and why it's useful. Most importantly, strong leadership is needed because this is a critical point of all that I mentioned just now. If management supports the change and communicates the purpose clearly, employees are more likely to follow. It also helps if companies appoint change champions, people who lead and support others during the transition from traditional system to ABC system. If, thank you. That's all from me.
My name is Amir Shad, metric number 303372. So now let's continue to the next point of the limitations of activity-based costing. So the next point is there is limited use for external reporting. So one of the reasons is that activity-based costing is not accepted by the accounting rules for financial reports. So for example, when a company needs to prepare a financial statements for the external users such as bankers, investors and the governments, this company needs to follow certain rules like GAAP and IFRS. So these rules demanded that the companies need to use traditional costing for the calculation of cost instead of using the activity-based cost. So the next reason is that the activity-based costing is mostly for the internal users. So activity-based costing is great for the internal decision making, where it helps managers to understand which products are more profitable. The second one is managers can find which activities that cost the most, and the last is to help improve efficiency and effectiveness in the production. Nevertheless, because of the activity-based costing does not follow certain rules, so these companies cannot use it to create their official financial reports. Okay, so for the last reason, which is the double or required to systems. So the company that use activity-based costing often has to use activity-based costing for the internal management purpose and also still use the traditional method for the external reporting. So in result, this will create extra work and also extra cost because the company need to maintain separate ways of costing system and also have to track data in different ways. So this also can cause or make the company encounter confusions or errors if the numbers doesn't match.
Hello, my name is Ahmad Naim and my metric number is 303375, and I will explain another limitation of activity-based costing. Another limitation is complexity in the system design. Why it is complex? Because we need to identify the activity and group it into a cost pool. So ABC required organization to identify a relevant activity, involved in producing a product or a service. This activity can be numerous and varied, such as, for example, machine setup, quality inspection, material handling, order processing, and other. Grouping this activity into appropriate cost pool demand careful analysis and understanding of the business process, which can be complicated and time consuming. Next, another reason why the ABC system is complex because we need to do a data collection and measurement. ABC require detailed and often extensive data collection on the frequency and duration of activities, resource usage, and other related costs. Gathering this data can be resource intensive and may require new system or software, increasing the complexity of the system and increasing costs to the company. The other reason for the complexity in the system design is the multiple level of activity in the company. ABC classify activity at different levels such as unit level, batch level, product level, customer level, and organization sustaining activities. Designing a system that accurately capture and allocate costs across these multiple level add layer of complexity to the costing process. Last but not least, another reason why the system design is complex because we need to integrate with the existing system. ABC system often operate separately from traditional accounting system because their detailed requirement different from the financial reporting need. This separation can create challenge in maintaining consistency, data synchronization, and reporting. This complicated the overall system design.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Mama Hafizi Behasno and my metric number is 307098. Today we are discussing the high cost associated with activity-based costing or ABC. While ABC aims to significantly improve cost accuracy by focusing on specific activities, it differs greatly from traditional costing system. This difference lead to substantial upfront implementation expenses and ongoing maintenance challenges. ABC entails creating detailed cost driver maps, which requires a sophisticated analysis to identify each activity and its unique cost drivers. Large amounts of activity data must also be gathered, forcing the use of reliable systems to track operational specific labs, resource usage, and activity frequency. Additionally, ABC requires that the cost model be regularly recalibrated in order to preserve accuracy as business evolves. When taken as a whole, these inherent requirements make ABC more expensive than traditional costing. Now, let's look at ABC within the Malaysian small and medium enterprise landscape. Research shows that medium-sized firms tend to adopt more sophisticated accounting practice, including ABC more readily than smaller firms. This is not just about knowing what ABC is, it's about practical barriers. For smaller firms, a key reason for non-adoption is often limited financial capacity, making the investment in complex systems difficult. In contrast, medium-sized firms are often better equipped to utilize ABC because they face more complex operations that generally benefit from detailed cost insights. In summary, the adoption gap between small and medium firms is largely driven by their different resource availability and operational complexity. So, is ABC a worthwhile investment for Malaysian SME? For small firms with a simple operation, traditional costing is generally adequate, and ABC's significant cost may simply overweigh its benefits. However, for larger medium SME, ABC can indeed unlock valuable insights for better cost control and pricing strategies. For those viable SME considering ABC, a strategic approach to implementation is absolutely crucial. This means starting with a phased approach, perhaps piloting ABC in just one area to test it out and learn. It's also vital to focus on key drivers, prioritizing only the most impactful activities to avoid overwhelmed complexity. Lastly, leveraging appropriate software and tools is essential to streamline data management and analysis, making the process more efficient. Ultimately, the decision to adopt ABC depends on a careful assessment of your specific resources or potential benefits. That's all from me. Thank you.